I still remember the way she looked at me. Not with love. Not with concern. But with disappointment. I was standing there, holding my newborn baby in my arms, my clothes faded, worn out, barely holding together. My body still weak from childbirth. My heart even weaker from everything I had just survived. And then she said it. Cold. Sharp. Unforgiving. Wasn't $300,000 enough? That one sentence didn't just hurt me. It shattered something inside me. Because what she didn't know, what no one knew, was that I had already lost everything. My name is Aisha. And this is the story of how I went from having everything, to losing it all, and still somehow finding the strength to stand. If you're watching this, I need you to stay till the end. Because this isn't just about money. It's about betrayal. It's about survival. And it's about the kind of pain that no one sees. A year ago, my life looked perfect. At least from the outside. I was married into a wealthy family. My husband, Saad, ran a successful business. We lived in a beautiful house, marble floors, high ceilings, the kind of place people dream about. And my grandmother. She used to tell everyone how proud she was of me. You see, my granddaughter, she'd say. She married well. Her life is set. I believed her. I really did. I thought I had security, stability, love. But what I didn't realize was, I was living in an illusion. It started small. Late nights. Missed calls. Excuses that didn't quite make sense. First I ignored it. Marriage isn't perfect, I told myself. Don't overthink. But then came the arguments. Saad became distant, cold, irritated over the smallest things. And then one night, everything changed. I found out the truth by accident. A message. Just one message on his phone. But it was enough. I miss you. When will you leave her? My hand started shaking. My heart. I don't even know how to describe it. It felt like it dropped into my stomach. When I confronted him, he didn't deny it. He didn't apologize. He didn't even look guilty. Instead, he said something I will never forget. You wouldn't understand. That's when I realized. I had never really known the man I married. A few weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. And for a moment, just a moment, I thought maybe things would change. Maybe this baby would fix everything. Maybe he would come back. Maybe we could still be a family. But I was wrong. Because when I told him, he didn't smile. He didn't hug me. He just looked annoyed. And said, "This complicates things." Complicates things. That was the moment something inside me broke. A few months later, everything escalated. His family called me in. Serious faces. Closed doors. Whispered conversations. And then they said it. "We think it's best if you leave." Just like that. No imuuschin. No hesitaschin. But what about my child? I asked. Silence. Then his father placed a file in front of me. Inside. A settlement. $300,000. "This will take care of you," he said. Take care of me. As if I was something to be handled. Disposed of. Bought off. I didn't want the money. I wanted my family. But in the end, I had no choice. I left that house with a suitcase and a broken heart. No husband. No home. No support. Just me and the life growing inside me. At first, I tried to stay strong. I told myself I would rebuild. But life doesn't always give you time to heal. Problems started piling up. Medical bills. Rent. Basic survival. The money that seemed like so much started disappearing faster than I could control. And then came the biggest blow. One decision. One mistake. And suddenly, that $300,000 was gone. Completely gone. And that's when I found myself standing there, holding my newborn baby, wearing worn-out clothes, facing my grandmother, as she asked me the question that changed everything. Wasn't $300,000 enough? Her words echoed in my head long after she said them. Wasn't $300,000 enough? I wanted to answer. I wanted to scream the truth. But my throat tightened, and no words came out. Because how do you explain something like this? Without sounding like you failed. Without sounding like you wasted everything. But the truth is, I didn't waste it. I survived with it. When I left that house, I thought $300,000 would last forever. It sounded like a fortune, like safety, like a second chance. But reality hit fast. The first major expense: medical care. My pregnancy wasn't easy. There were complications, frequent checkups, emergency visits, medications I couldn't afford to skip. Every appointment chipped away at that money. And I was alone. No one to split the burden. No one to hold my hand. Just bills, after bills, after bills. Then came the night I will never forget. I woke up with unbearable pain. Something felt wrong. Deep down I knew this wasn't normal. I rushed to the hospital, alone, terrified, praying my baby would be okay. Hours passed. Doctors running in and out. Machines beeping. And me lying there thinking, I can't lose this baby. I've already lost everything else. That night cost me more than money. It cost me pieces of my strength. But I made it through. We both did. Barely. After that, I knew I needed help managing what was left. I was exhausted, emotionally drained, not thinking clearly. And that's when he came into my life. My cousin. Someone I thought I could trust. He offered to help me invest the remaining money. Don't let it just sit there, he said. I'll grow it for you. I hesitated. But I was vulnerable. And I believed him. That was my biggest mistake. At first, everything seemed fine. He gave updates. Spoke confidently. Promised returns. But slowly, the excuses started. The market is down. Just give it time. Trust me. And then one day, he stopped answering my calls. My messages. Everything. I went to his house. Knocked on the door. Again and again. But no one answered. That's when it hit me. The money was gone. Not spent. Not invested. Stolen. I remember sitting on the ground outside his house, holding my stomach, crying so hard I couldn't breathe. Not because of the money, but because of the betrayal. Another person I trusted. Gone. Just like that. And in that moment, I realized something terrifying. I had no one left. When the time came to give birth, I wasn't in a luxury hospital. I wasn't surrounded by family. There were no flowers. No celebrations. Just a small room, basic care, and silence. But when I held my baby for the first time, everything else disappeared. All the pain, the betrayal, the fear. It didn't matter anymore. Because in my arms was a reason to keep going. And now, here I was, standing in front of my grandmother, my baby in my arms, my clothes worn out, my soul exhausted, and her question still hanging in the air. Wasn't $300,000 enough? This time, I answered. No, I said softly. It wasn't enough to buy loyalty. It wasn't enough to fix betrayal. It wasn't enough to replace a family. Tears rolled down my face, but I didn't wipe them away. For a moment it felt like a lot. I continued. But when life starts taking everything from you, it disappears faster than you can imagine. She stayed silent. For the first time, she didn't have anything to say. But what happened next? I never expected, because the same grandmother who judged me was about to reveal something that would change everything again. Part 3. The truth she never told me. She didn't speak right away. My grandmother, the same woman who had always seemed so sure, so strong, just stood there staring at me, to my baby, and my worn-out clothes. And for the first time in my life, I saw something in her eyes I had never seen before. Not judgment, not disappointment, but regret. Her voice when she finally spoke was different. Softer. Come inside, she said. No accusations. No harsh tone. Just quiet. I hesitated. A part of me wanted to walk away. After everything, after her words, I didn't know if I could handle more pain. But I looked down at my baby, and I followed her in. We sat in the small living room I had grown up in. Everything looked the same, but nothing felt the same. She took a deep breath. I thought I was protecting you, she said. I frowned. Protecting me from what? From a life of struggle, she replied. From ending up like me. That caught me off guard. My grandmother had never talked about her past. Not really. But that day, she did. I wasn't always like this, she began. There was a time when I had nothing. Less than nothing. She told me about her youth, the poverty, the hunger, the nights she went to sleep not knowing if there would be food the next day. I married for survival, she admitted. Not for love. Her voice cracked slightly. And I told myself my children, my grandchildren would never go through that. So when I married into wealth, she believed I had won. That I was safe. That money would protect me from everything she had suffered. When they gave you that money, she continued, I thought it meant you were still secure. I shook my head slowly. No, iwis parat. It meant I was being replaced. Silence filled the room again. I didn't know, she said quietly. And for once, I believed her. Tears streamed down her face. Not controlled. Not hidden. Real. I judged you, she said. I thought you were careless, irresponsible. That you threw everything away. She looked at my baby, then back at me. But I didn't see what you went through to survive. Something inside me softened. Not completely, but enough. Because for the first time, she wasn't speaking from pride. She was speaking from pain. Then she did something I never expected. She stood up, walked to her room, and came back with a small box. Inside it were old jewelry pieces. Gold. Worn but valuable. This is all I have, she said. I immediately shook my head. No. I can't take this. You're not taking it, she replied firmly. You're continuing what I started. I looked at her confused. You survived, she said. Just like I did. And now it's your turn to rebuild. In that moment, I understood something I hadn't before. This was never really about money. Not the $300,000. Not the jewelry. Not the house I lost. It was about survival. About resilience. About what you do when everything is taken from you. I didn't become rich overnight. There was no miracle. No instant happy ending. But I had something stronger than money. I had clarity. I started small. Selling what I could. Saving every bit. Working whenever I had the chance. Even with my baby in my arms. It was hard. Some days it still is. But I'm not the same person anymore.
I'm stronger.
Wiser. Unbreakable. So when people ask me now, wasn't $300,000 enough? I don't get angry anymore. I just smile and say, no amount of money is enough if you don't have the right people beside you. And no amount of money is necessary if you have the strength to start again. If you made it this far, thank you for listening to my story. And if you've ever felt judged, misunderstood, or alone, just remember this: your lowest moment does not define your future. What you do after it does. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more real, powerful stories like this. Red heart subscribe now, because some stories aren't just told, they're felt. If you believe strength matters more than money, hit like and subscribe to join this journey. Don't forget to subscribe, because the next story might be the one you needed to hear. Like, comment, and subscribe, and remember, your story isn't over yet. Subscribe for more emotional and life-changing stories, and share this with someone who needs it today.